crazy schedule. And meanwhile, have they done their homework? That's going to be very important here. We talked about the Hilda the first game. This is going to be a litmus test of the new meta moving forward with this patch, right? Some of the heroes have been taken out of the pool. I feel that Khalid is not as strong anymore. I feel that Gato might not have enough damage, but can they still work? And now we will see how Gamerpack Ascent and Monster Vicious, they execute this new patch as we move on forward with this meta.
Oh, and we do see that the opening window of Hilda is already there. The question is, will GPA take it? It seems that they will be taking Matilda instead. Okay, not to worry. We know for a fact that Matilda is still high rising, still very beneficial when it comes to moving into the game. So probably they're going in with their own safe zone, and we know definitely GPA has one of the finals that they can actually pull out with the Matilda.
Yeah, Matilda opened it really strong, but the thing is, right, Monster Vicious, they have 2 picks, and the Alpha is not out of the pool. So they can actually go for an Alpha Hilda opener if they want to play Deny and get a good strategy for themselves at the same time, because Hilda, it will be flexible. You can put him on the EXP lane, you can still put him on the roam, but they have their pick of heroes as well. If they want to go for this really fast playstyle, they can choose to go for the Hayabusa, and they take the Alpha away, and they open up with a Eve instead. I mean, Eve, we see Eve being a very strong priority for most teams in SPS, not so much in the MPL playoffs, but definitely within the last few days, we see that Eve, there's a very high priority there.
Agree, definitely. I think they know for a fact that when you have that RWM, it definitely gives a lot of leeway for the game fights itself, the gang fights that they needed to. So I think Monster Vicious are prioritizing on that. They saw a lot of the after effects when it comes to having Eve on their side. Now, Gamerpack and Hilda is still open for them. Are they going to actually try to take that? So far right now, we haven't seen the teams try to pick up it then, and it's still open for them to be taken off. But instead, Hylos, another good decision making as well to be picked up. So Gamerpack Xan will be using not only Hylos but Moskov as their EXP.
And Monster Vicious with the final pick left over, right? The way that you want to answer towards a Hylos, it's either you have that high mobility to get out of the glorious pathway. Meanwhile, you can really answer with a team fight on team fight. And it looks like they already have a Eve, they already have an Alpha, so it might just be a meat grinder. You want to have that bloodbath. Monster Vicious, I mean, they don't shy away from team fights either, so they might potentially just pick up a very aggressive hero here. And if they go for that EXP lane, they can go for that Terizla, they can go for, okay, CC, okay. I mean, usually that's the main answer. Usually you pick up like a CC to destroy the Hylos in the lane. And yeah, if let's say 1v1, CC just wins the Hylos because you have so much sustainability. Even with the revitalization on the Hylos, he's not going to be able to withstand your yo-yos if you play it correctly.
Interesting. All right, good move coming in from Monster Vicious. Not only that, we do see export also been banned out. I like the fact that they want to actually control all the aggression or even the damage wise from GPX, and they know for a fact that this could easily goes ruptured not just on the front side but also on the back line. So having export to be banned out is a good decision making coming up from Monster Vicious. But GPA responding wise, taking out Hearth as well from the hands of Monster Vicious.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too big of a deal. I mean, Gamerpack Ascent, I feel that they should be banning out that mid trio, right? That Eve, the Alpha, and potentially the Roam that can help out the Alpha, right? The one that will really enable the Alpha would be something like a Ruby, would be something like a Gato as well. So Monster Vicious, I mean, as much as I say Gato he has been nerfed, but it's still a very strong hero, especially if you put him on the Roam role to enable a damage dealer, because Alpha, he's going to be able to pump out a lot of damage. And it looks like the priority here for Monster Vicious is to take out that Aurora. Despite the slight nerf, it's still a very strong hero on that mid lane.
Interesting. So far right now, Monster Vicious definitely denying a lot of the offensive side, all the damage. They want to actually counter it off and try to cover it up all the grounds of Monster Vicious. But on the side of GPA, they ended up taking out the Nathan. Possibly they don't want to give so much of the mobility wise of Monster Vicious. So this is where Nathan comes along. I know for a fact it is a little bit of lane game, but it could be a little bit of insurance on the side of GPA as well.
Yeah, and Monster Vicious, they answer back with the Beatrix. I mean, gold laner-wise, they have their picks because Ruff, he can play the Irithel, he can play the Beatrix. Anything that you throw at him, he will be able to pilot it. Now, Gamer Pack Sen, where is your mid trio, right? Now you need to secure your mage, you need to get that damage going, and it seems to me like you can actually play that Vexana in this mid lane right now, though the airborne time has been nerfed by a slight bit, but that's still a lot of control. And if you want to go back to the previous meta, you can go for the Zosk. But Zosk, I feel, with the Hylos, still an extremely strong combo if they wish to do it, because they have the Matilda to actually enable their jungler, which they have yet to pick.
Interesting. Okay, so far we do see there's a potential of also Hayabusa to be picked up. They need that and more mobility wise of them, but no, they end up picking up Boxer. You talked about this.
Oh no. Now suddenly this Gamer Pack Ascend's lineup looks extremely strong. But the thing is, it's always on that CC. That solo play from that CC can potentially disrupt that first 3 minutes of the game where you have so much power spike because your level 1, your level 2 as a CC is so strong with so much mobility. Even if you go for the sprint or the vengeance, there is so much damage going your way. Now Monster Vicious left with the roam. I want them to have something that enables that alpha, something that's really aggressive, and they can go for the Tigreal here because Nova, he is very strong on that Tigreal, but now the Carmelia is coming out.
Oh yeah, I'm confused. I'm definitely confused on this fact that they picked up Carmelia instead. But I mean, most possibility they do know for a fact they want to actually cover out already the front side as well as the back side as well. But the fact is, it is giving a lot of the leeway on the side of GPA right now because GPA looks much more sturdy and much more strength on their choose pick at the moment right now compared to what Monster Vicious are putting out. But it depends. It depends on how they actually try to maneuver and try to control on the early game stages, because this is where the fine line is. Can you actually counter all the aggressions that have been put out by GPA first off?
Yeah, the funny thing is, right, the strong heroes that we thought would potentially just define this patch, Boda was not picked.
Yeah.
Khalid was, okay, Khalid, slight nerf, ignored. Gato Kacha, I mean, ignored as well. I mean, Tigreal on Nova Escobar could have been a great pick, but that Carmelo pick, I still feel is really strong because they're going for that team fight, right? You can see for the RWM, the Spear of Alpha, that's definitely what they want, that AoE with that Beatrix. But let's just find out as we head on into Game 2, I mean, Series 2, Game 1 of today, Monster Vicious Malaysia versus Gamer Pack Descent from the Philippines.
Let's find out. Let's find out. Second series of the day. Will it be a 2-0 or will it be a fight that we will definitely see Gamer Pack Xan giving a lot of highlights for the Philippine teams? So far right now, we do see some of the engagement-wise will be giving a lot of their leeway to try to cover up their grounds, getting all the farms they needed. The question is back to Viver again, whereby can they actually be able to help the maneuver of all their junglers? So far, we do see that invasion comes in from the side of GPA. They've taken out some of the potential. Nova try to actually pick up the space as well as try to cover up the motions that's coming in from GPA. But still, it's not gonna be easy. I feel a lot of aggressions coming in from GPA is gonna push a lot of the team from a lot of the players from Monster Vicious at this moment on the crucial early games.
Yeah, and it's always about that jungler in that first 2 minutes, right? But despite that fact, I mean, they had to just rotate players from GPA towards that top lane because you don't want that CC to get that snowball going. That Hylos is not going to have a good time, even with a glorious pathway. Well, meanwhile, before this 2 minutes, I mean, I expect the mid laners to move towards that top lane where you want that level 4 before that first turtle spawn. Definitely, Uni is going to have a great time because he is an alpha here. You have so much damage in compared to the Boxia. I mean, I like the Boxia pick, but it's not really that good in this game because there's not a lot of revitalizations that you're dealing with. and you can be on that CC duty, and you can put Cram with that Glorious Pathway somewhere else. But now we have it. Real manipulation being used.
Yep, RWM coming out. It's gonna be Uni taking out the turtle, but at the same time, Mortis takes down Leaks as a progress comes through. It's gonna be GPA try to pull away before becoming a casualty, but there was already a trade comes through between the two teams. It's still a win and at least a close range gap between Monster Vicious as well as GPA.
Yeah, 1-2-1 trade. Turtle going the way of Monster Vicious. I mean, Monster Vicious, they have this early game with this alpha. They can fight for days. And Carmelia, he is so strong, right? There's so much sustainability coming out. But that Basia, with that degeneration, is going to shy them away. And really, this is the power of the Basia, right? I love this pick. And it's really surprising why they went for it. But I can see where it's going because that Curse of Blood, that AoE, they will be very strong in a head-on team fight. Monster Vicious, they have that 5-on-5 even without the CC, but I need to see out more moves from Xeno right now because Xeno right now, with this equal net worth towards that Hylos, it's not exactly where you want to be as a CC. You want to be destroying, winning that lanes because as a CC in that mid-game, you don't really have that much of a team fight presence. But Monster Vicious, they gotta keep avoiding team fights here.
Let's see if they will so, because the fact is right now, it seems that they are stacking themselves already at the bottom lane, and somehow Monster Vicious is already waiting for the spawn of the turtles. And this is where the fine line. Are they going to actually push in, or will they actually try to get the team fight started out? We got Nova, will be stunning straight away. It's going to go in all out to Damon. Marzi shuts down immediately, and now giving a good leeway for the side of Team Monster Vicious to get this next turtle. And the side of right at the top right now, they know for a fact that GPA is at the moment as a crucial state that they will be having a little bit of difficulty.
And slight positioning error coming in from Gamer Pakistan, right? You have no way of initiating. You have to always be wary of that Spear of Alpha, and it's going to be a very scary look, but now they don't have the Matilda, yet they're fighting Uni. He can potentially destroy everyone here.
Glorious Pass booked out, but doesn't hit anyone. It doesn't even pick out or lock to anyone. And it's just a little bit of giving all the space for the side of Monster Vicious to just run away with the gameplay. RWM been put out. It's going to be one to be mobilized. It's going to be Marzi to shut down Starboy. And now they're trying to push in. Unfortunately, Tittle will already be slain. Now Cramps will be the next victim of Uni with the Spear of Alpha. But at the same time, right at the mid, Teddy Cutie almost been tagged out by Xeno, but it's already enough wins inside the hands of Monster Vicious.
And very good timing call coming out from Monster Vicious, right? You saw that when the Glorious Pathway came out, they did not want to fight at all. And they knew that Gamer Pakistan, they're using that Glorious Pathway. Meanwhile, Xeno, I mean, he has really throttled himself. I was saying I need to see more from him. And now that he cannot die, he's secured so much farm for himself, it's definitely going to be very hard for the team of Gamer Pakistan to just collapse down on him, but they do find him.
You do find him, but Nova coming in for a side of Daddy Cutie is just a small whiz comes in. But at the same time here, that's just a small trades off trying to be in for the side of GPA. But Raph, a little bit too rough in the center, and he's going to be pushed out. Stun comes in from Leaks, and Starboy finish it off with shutting down Raph immediately. But Legs on the other side will be denied as well as straight off by Uni. But Uni is not done. He gets a shot to the side of Damien as well. Getting two trades right here for the side of Monsters Vicious. It's a really good consolation prize for them.
Yeah, and we see the power of the Camilla really coming through, right? Having that Curse of Blood, and Gamer Pakistan, you are so grouped up. You want to just fight it all together. You might potentially be running into a trap. And yes, you did take out Xeno early on, but you're so deep in the enemy jungle. And now Cram, he has forced to use that Glorious Pathway to escape to no avail. I mean, Monster Vicious right now, you gotta avoid the alpha from Gamer Pakistan. Gamer Pakistan, once you see the alpha, it's just no go for you. As long as you have the Spear of Alpha, it's a guaranteed kill, even on the Hylos.
And now Invasion comes in, taking out the buff, and GPA cannot be able to cover the grounds. They cannot defend their territories because of so much map control coming in from the side of Team Monster Vicious. Next turtle is about to be spawned. We do see that Xeno will be covered out. Not to worry at all. They got the turtle on their hands. Much of resources already been put out in the hands of Monster Vicious. So much of potential already been put out. GPA still haven't found the answer they want.
Yeah, I mean, they were trying to highlight that mobility. First pick Matilda, right? Really strong first pick, but they have not been making the correct decisions, especially with that glorious pathway. It's so huge for them for Game of Pakistan because that's their only entryway into Monster Vicious because there's no other way of initiation. And that Hylos, I mean, Cram, I don't think he can be in a position where he can show himself. That Basia should be the one that's giving them vision right now.
Let's see. We have so much of the fight coming in, and the moment right now, Lex is right in the open. They're gonna go in for the gang up. Ruff did manage to steal away a turret at the same process. GPA, despite they are in the constitute to try to take down Uni, at what cost? Because at the moment, it gives so much potential of Ruff to clear out the waves for the team of Monster Vicious.
And now with the real world manipulation being used, they are running into that meat grinder. That ultimates are so strong. Carmelia, real world manipulation, and the Beatrix on top. They will not stand a chance. Gamer Pakistan, they have to fall back for now. Two members are already down. I mean, Monster Vicious, they have this 4,000 gold lead right now. Ruff is just farming up a storm right now. And without that glorious pathway, they used it on the bottom lane. They picked up Uni, yes. But that glorious pathway is meant for more. It's not just meant for one pickoff. There's just no way that Gamer Pakistan it does not know this. So they have to take that next fight really, really carefully.
Oh, Teddy Yuri going in for the first turret, at least getting in the second one. But at the same time right here, getting up straight to Uni. And at the moment right now, they try to find at least one of the win itself. But Uni managed to break through, shuts down immediately Teddy Cutie, and Damon backing off, not in the right time by Zeno. Right this instant, will try to push him away. And this could give a good positioning as well as space for Team Monster Vicious to get that lot for themselves.
And once again, who do you think you are, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are to fight against a level 14 alpha that's the jungler on the map with that orange buff active? Because there's no way you're taking Uni down unless it's all 5 members. And Gamer Pakistan, I mean, even with that glorious pathway, they had a horrible time. And now they use it once again. I feel it's too early. You might be running into a meat grinder or Monster Vicious once again.
It's not even enough. It's just futile. And here, Ruff takes down Teddy Cutie. Zedon takes down Crab and pushing on to Nova Escobar. A little bit of extension, but still, it's a trade-off for the side of GPA. But more damage was already been put out by Monster Vicious, leaving out only 2 players. And as the Lord marching in into the top lane, Monster Vicious will try to clear out all of the waves so that they can get at least into the final layer of the turrets.
And look at that, with the blink in, I mean, with the flicker in from Nova Escobar, that real world manipulation just caught them off guard. Too much damage coming in from Ruff in that back line. They used that glorious pathway just slightly too early. It's so telegraphed. And I just feel that at this point, Cram is better off in the bushes and putting that glorious pathway when the fight happens as a counter initiation tool. Once again, glorious pathway has been used just to deny everything. And this is such a huge ultimate coming in from GPA every single time. Monster Vicious, they will just take advantage of the fact that this skill is on cooldown.
RWM been put out right this instant. Cram is right in the mid. Unfortunately, will be shut down by Ruff. And the instant right here, we do see Daddy Cutie giving a lot of pressure, taking down a couple of the overextension coming in from the side of Monster Visuals. But at the same time, what cost right here as they're pushing in, we do see Marcy takes down Licks and now leaving on Damien. Damien trying to come through, but Mansi, lots of blood's already been built out, and it's gonna be Damien to getting the double kill, leaving on Nova Exibor. Such a really good defense coming in for the team of GPA, but at least for now, they get a breather.
And there we have it, right? The microplay that they had to make was sacrificing Teddy Cutie with that super crazy decision of jumping in that back line with the Spear of Destruction. There was no other way that they were reaching Ruff, and Teddy Cutie made that call to jump in with that Spear of Destruction. That was the only way. That was the only opening that they had. And now, with that out of the way, Game of Pakistan, I mean, they still have a lot of net worth that they had to fight through. Look at this, they were fighting into the meat grinder, and Teddy Cutie going into that backline onto Ruff, that's the damage gone. This is the first few steps that they need to be taken. It's not a head-on team fight. They have to pick off Ruff somehow. That circling eagle has to be used on Ruff, and definitely I don't think MV, they will allow it again.
This is not going to be easy for GPA. I mean, it is a small win for now, but the fact that they already spot out that backline is something that needs to be sacrificed and things that they need to overextend to a point so that they can deny the movement of Monster Vicious. It's a risky move. A lot already been spawned, and right this instant, we see the waves already been cleared out, and we know for a fact Teddy Yuri is also doing his job, trying to actually put out that bottom lane as well. As time goes in, right this instant, we know Uni is coming in as well for the lot as well. But now they're gonna go in for the glorious path, taking out, but the RWM comes through, but it doesn't tag off anyone, and GPA managed to pull away from the hands of side of Monster Vicious, but at least the Lord will be in the hands of Team Monster Vicious.
Yeah, and Gamer Pack Ascent, I mean, they have a lot of creeps to deal with. They didn't have that timing to go for it, despite the fact that they tried. Spear of Destruction, I mean, could be used, but Ruff is not showing himself anymore. Once bitten, twice shy is not going to happen again. And what I want to see out of Ruff right now is to build towards that Wit of Nature. Once it's up, it's really the nail in the coffin for Gamer Pack Ascent. They will have to force a crazy team fight, but Starboy will be that shining light for Gamer Pack Ascent. They will have that magic damage coming out from that scaling Sicilian, and that's going to be a very scary tool for Monster Vicious to deal with. Now, the light falls onto Starboy. He has to make some crazy moves where he's in the fight and not dying at the same time.
Let's see. We see that CC will be pushing off straight for the Lord of the top lane. Now, Team Monster Vicious try to make sure that at least GPA will be caught off right at the bottom now. Turret already been picked up right at the top, and at this moment, Glorious going in for the path. But at the same time, Monster Vicious has already been tagged out. They had to pull away from the fight just instantly. But Unit comes in for the overextension, pulling in straight to Krem, and now trying to go in for another extension, but the overextension will be denying him, punishing by the side of Teddy Cutie. And it was so much damage to a point that Team Monster Vicious had to pull away. But a really good defense success coming in from Team GPA.
And yeah, they hold on for now. But Gamer Pack Ascent, they can keep holding on, and they have a very good high ground defense. This is where the penny drops for Monster Vicious because of that CC pick, because you don't have that much of a team fight advantage. It's just the hero alone. It's just that hero kit alone where you cannot exactly jump in. And who is forced to jump in there? The Alpha. But now with so much damage being available on Starboy, as long as he's alive, as long as they don't catch him, Monster Vicious, they're running into a crazy amount of damage that's coming out from the Sicilian here.
Let's see. Now, as 40 seconds on the clock, we do see the Lord will be spawned out, and so much of the damage has already been put out, and despite as they try to actually go in for the team fight, it was still not enough as GPA still managed to defend themselves. Now they're trying to actually go in as one, and we do see GPA also going in at the bottom lane. We have at least Teddy Cutie try to clear out the wave so that at least they can break off the bottom lane of the turret for themselves to come in to sneak into the baseline of Monster Vicious. But will Monster Vicious allow it? We do see somehow. We're gonna actually have Mortizy to clear out the lane, and it seems that they're gonna actually contest it out. They're trying to go in for 1v1 right here at the top lane with Ruff himself, but no! Teddy Cutie will be denied. We couldn't actually get it on scene because with Nova sticking as claws inside with the side of Ruff, unfortunately Teddy Cutie will be denied, and now it's giving the opportunity for Monster Vicious to just get the lot for themselves.
They make the bet, they make that gamble to put themselves in that bush and know that Teddy Cutie has to be the one to take out the creep waves. If they sent anyone else, if they sent Cram, if they sent Boxia, they would have been fine. But they know that at this point, they want the farm on the Moskov. And MV, they play that game. They make that gamble, and it paid off for them. With the Enhanced Lord in their favor, they have all the damage needed. But now, Moskov is back up, yes, but they will lose an inhibitor turret because of that singular move alone. And that's a lot of map pressure, right? MV, they don't want to take that 5-on-5 team fight. They know they will lose if they're running towards the Sicilian. So they took that gamble, and it paid off.
it paid off very, very well. Now, as the lot marching in, they're looking for a way whether or not they want to actually split up again. Marzi sticking a little bit of his nose right to Cram, try to tease it off. Just one more turret to go for them to break it off. It's done deal. This is where the game fight starts in. Going in for the stun straight away. Uni looking for opportunity. Glorious Path has already put out, but they're not going to be tagged off right away. Ruff already been spotted up by Team Diddy Cutie with the backline. He pushing in straight, but now this is going to be a chance for them to push into Marzi as Yuri takes down Teddy Cutie, but the RWN comes through. Jamil still trying to survive it up. Marzi moving away, but it's going to be Yuri to come through for the side, shutting down with the Spirit Flare Alpha, but at the same time, it's not going to be enough. It's not much of a damage. They spot out from Monster Visions as GPA comes through, but they did manage to take down Jamil, and now they're pushing it, but Starboy shutting down Uni immediately, but will Zeno be able to pull through? Glorious Path been put out for them to just defend and pushing away the Monster Vicious. Again, another lineup of defense so much stronger right here in the hands of Gamerpack XN.
And it just felt like Ruff fell asleep on the job, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, there was Moskov just shooting spears at you, and he was just standing there, just trying to deal the damage. I'm pretty sure he had the tools to actually escape out of there, at least a wind chant from the Wind of Nature or a flicker away. But he thought that he was dealing the most damage. He thought he was the biggest boy on the map. But Teddy Cutie is dealing the damage right now. And this is why I said Monster Vicious, they don't want to run back. As long as Starboy is alive, there's so much damage coming out of the Sicilian. And this is why teams are scared of the Sicilian combo with the Carmelia. But now they have that Carmelia. And look at this. Ruff, he had that flicker available. And yet, Teddy Cutie is just dealing so much damage.
Oh, that backline was just a really good cover up from Teddy Cutie. I mean, like, he covered the ground. He did what is necessary to shut down any movement of Monster Vicious, which questionable. Why was Monster Vicious was not covering the ground? Definitely cutting Ruff off guard, and he was not taking what it was necessary to give more pressure for Team Gamerpack XN. Again, he is learning a lot of the mistakes, but coming through right here, they're gonna try to contest, and we do see Nova Escobar. They're hiding off the bush, and they might actually try to sneak into the back line of GPA. They do not know this. They know for a fact Starboy is right there. So there you go. Nova coming in right this instant. It's gonna be rough to take him down. This is Dorifast pushing into the side of Cram, but this is only for them to run away for dear life. But Cram's already getting a lot of damage. Still survive it out for the mortality. But as we see it right, this is a Uni try to do as much damage as well. It's not enough. Teddy Cutie takes down Ruff immediately. That's the opening, but Uni finally comes through with the trade, and as they're pushing in, GPA looking a little bit more sturdy. They try to survive it up, but Trey pulled away from the fight, and Monster Vicious, this is still an even win for both sides of the team, but it's still enough. At least they managed to pull through, at least getting all the backlines they needed to get into the fine line of GPA.
Yeah, Monster Vicious, that gamble again, right? That bush has been a success factor for Monster Vicious. Now they want to cut things to the end as they try to Spear of Alpha onto Cram. Can they find the damage? They go for the crystal here. 5 seconds on Starboy. They are rushing the crystal down, and they do get the game for themselves. They pull off the bush play. Monster Vicious 1-0. They will pull ahead in this series.
Ooh, lot of this